This episode of the Wayang Crew podcast is brought to you by Times Cineplex. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Wayang Crew podcast. It's me, Kev, once again on this podcast where we talk about all things movies, especially movies that are playing here in Brunei Darussalam. Today we'll be giving you a review of It Chapter 2. It's showing here in local cinemas. But first, it's my co-host, it's Tibby.
Hey.
You're back.
I am back.
What is up?
Nothing much.
How you been?
I'm good.
That's it?
Yeah. I was sick though.
I happen to know that you're great.
Yeah, I guess if you can. Sure. Yeah, I am great.
Great.
You're great, man.
All right.
great.
So
Professionally still the same.
to move the spotlight away from you, it's our co-host. It's Afif.
Hey,
What's up?
I'm good. Terrible weekend. Terrible week, but wonderful weekend.
Terrible week, wonderful
Yeah.
weekend. That's kind of a better way to end the week, I
Yeah,
guess.
I'm quite happy. It's like that. Yeah,
Okay.
very happy.
My sympathies for the terrible week.
Thank you very much.
But I'm a bit envious of the wonderful weekend. Up next, it's the final co-host for this episode of the podcast. It's Naz.
Hello.
What's up? Welcome back.
Hey. Yeah, it's been weeks.
It's been a couple of weeks.
weeks?
Yeah,
Weeks.
a long while. We've been really bad at keeping up with the weekly episodes for the last maybe month or so.
Been busy.
But we're busy, but we're back. And today, as I mentioned up top, we'll be giving you our review of It Chapter 2, which is the continuation of 2017's It, which is the first chapter in this, I guess, duology of movies.
Yeah.
But first, let's get to the news and kicking up things this week. Did you guys check out? This is a bit old now, but did you guys see the trailer for Terminator Dark Fate?
Yeah.
It's the second trailer that we got, and it shows a little bit more of what we saw from the first trailer. We get actual dialogue now from Sarah Connor and Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator T-800. This is looking better and better, and me being a Terminator fan, I'm so excited for this. Anyone else feel that way?
I hope
I'm okay.
Yeah. I just hope there's going to be a lot of action as
Same.
portrayed in the trailer.
yeah, I hope that's not the only action.
Yeah,
that's in the trailer.
that's true.
Okay, but they haven't really alluded to what this story is going
Yeah.
to be yet, so I think that's a good sign.
That is good because usually action movies you'll see everything in the trailers. Not this one. So
Yeah.
we're about to find
We
out.
don't know what.
Yeah, we
to
don't know what
expect.
to expect.
Yeah, James Cameron is back to produce this. He, of course, directed the first two Terminator movies, and then this is as we've mentioned here in the podcast, this is wiping out the three Salvation
Previous ones,
and
yeah.
Genesis. So this is the actual three, as per James
I
Cameron.
just want mindless action.
Yeah.
Like shooting,
like the
explosion!
original.
Don't we
Yeah.
all?
Yeah.
That's why. That's why we have the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah.
Did you
But
enjoy it?
The Fast Furious?
Yeah.
Yeah. The first 3 quarters.
I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting back to
Terminator.
Terminator. Why did I say Transformers? Terminator.
Minus
I don't
action.
know. I hope it's like that, but more
Structured.
structured and smart script. Yeah,
Yeah.
And then action.
Oh.
Smart script, action.
We appreciate smart scripts.
All right, I think this is going to be good because it's coming out in November, so can't wait for that. We also got a trailer last week for a movie called Aeronauts.
Feels like Gravity.
Yeah,
but
it stars Felicity Jones and Eddie Redmayne. So we've got Jin Erso and Newt Scamander.
Yeah.
And they're in this fictional balloon and they go up into, I guess, really, really high up, 20, 30,000 feet in the
Yeah,
air.
like too high up. I
Gravity
think.
in the 1970s.
Yeah, right.
20s, like the 20s or the
1920,
1900s.
Because the screaming and the camera
And the
angles.
camera, yeah.
And the ice.
The ice.
I like the cast. The cast, I like most of their movies previous to
Yeah.
this one.
Eddie Redmayne. I hope Eddie's not being
Newt Scamander.
Newt Scamander. He seemed a bit Newt Scamander-y.
Quirky and
Yeah.
awkward.
And
This is an Amazon Prime movie. So it's being streamed.
Oh, but it looks pretty
Like
good.
it looks very decent.
Yeah, like cinema
High budget.
quality.
Yeah.
we'll see the graphics when it comes out.
Of course, we saw it on a small screen, so
Yeah.
All right.
maybe it's
yeah.
designed to be on a small screen.
The casts are good so far.
Yeah.
The cast look good, that's true. Here's a cast that looked really good on the screen, having not seen them together for, I think, maybe 10 or more years. It's Bad Boys for Life.
Yeah.
The third movie in the Bad Boys franchise. We got a trailer this week, and of course, Will Smith is back. We've been so accustomed to seeing him on the screen, and Martin Lawrence is back
Yeah.
He's grown.
He looks like a dad.
horizontally.
I think he is in
He's
the
a
movie as
daddy.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a dad in the
Dad
movie.
The previous
boy.
one.
Right,
Yeah.
the kid.
Yeah, they established that in the second movie.
Second one.
Yeah, but he looks more daddier than usual.
Daddier.
Define daddy.
I mean, like father.
Dad bod.
That
Dad bod.
bod.
Yeah.
They also look like they had a group of young kids.
Yeah, like they recruited a new team, right?
Yeah.
I hope there's no next movie called
Bad brats.
Yeah.
Bad
Please no.
kids.
no.
Bad kids,
Just
bad
stop here.
kids.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
What I find really nice about this trailer is that the chemistry between Will Smith and Martin Lawrence seems like it's still there,
Yeah, it's still
there.
and it never left. And it's as if you're watching the first movie, plus 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this as well. I'm a big fan of the first movie, not so much the second.
Yep. I
We also
agree.
got a trailer this week for a movie called Jojo Rabbit. This is the second trailer that we got.
Yep.
And it's a weird movie where it follows a little German youth during World War II.
Yeah,
And he's recruited as one of the Hitler youth. And his imaginary friend is Adolf Hitler, played by the director, Taika Waititi.
Of course.
He's pulled in like so many big names into this
Yeah.
movie. Scarlett Johansson's in this movie. Who's that girl? The one from Pitch Perfect.
Anna Kendrick?
The Australian friend.
Oh, her. Rebel Wilson.
Rebel
Wilson,
Wilson.
there you
Rebel
go.
Wilson's in this movie.
Yeah.
This movie, I think, will be a dark comedy.
It seems
It,
like
it
a
definitely
dark
has to be a
comedy.
dark comedy.
Yeah.
There are some real comedy beats to it, and I can't wait to watch it. Although it's causing a little bit of controversy
Of course, it's
Now-
Hitler.
because Hitler is portrayed on screen.
Hitler's always controversial.
Yeah, and Taika being the director of the Thor movies, Thor Ragnarok, and
Oh,
the upcoming
no, yeah.
Thor: God of Thunder.
Yeah, that could
I
potentially
don't know.
affect Disney.
It could,
Yeah.
but this is quirky. This is something that he's been doing before he did the Disney
Yeah.
Marvel stuff.
Yeah, that's true. And Scarlett's in it too.
Yeah, I guess he's going back to whatever he was.
Yeah,
passionate
his
for.
style
Which is a good thing.
of directing, like his original style of directing.
Quirky.
Yeah,
We like that.
like awkward.
It's not for everyone.
conversations.
It's not for
Silent,
everyone.
yeah.
That's for sure. Here's something that probably isn't for everyone as well. We got a trailer for a very dark twist on a classic tale, and it's a movie called Gretel and Hansel. Of course, from Hansel and Gretel, that childhood story. This looks scary.
Who's making it?
I'm not sure who's making this movie.
I'm like, who's asking this Hansel Gretel movie? Like,
Not you.
how many versions do we have already? It's so many.
I think it's because stories like Hansel and Gretel, they're in the public domain.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
everyone can.
Kind of like
access
Sherlock
it,
Holmes.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyone can make it. Yeah, like you're right. I don't know who's asking for this, but it is creepy because it's. The story itself of Hansel and Gretel is a very creepy
It
story.
is
Yeah.
very creepy
It's just
story.
that growing up, you heard the kid version, and here we have the horror version, which
Yeah.
probably is closer to the real story.
I think
Yeah.
like Grimm's original.
I'm
Fairy tale.
thinking there's a group of really fanatic followers of the original Hansel and Gretel movies, and that's like, oh, finally, a new Hansel and Gretel movie.
But let's call it Gretel and Hansel.
I've been waiting this forever since I was like 3.
But they're not gonna like this movie because
Yeah.
it doesn't have the gingerbread house.
No.
Yeah.
No. So you can't make everyone happy.
And it looks
Gross?
potentially gross, like
Gory,
gory.
yeah, gory.
The setting, it's like so dirty and bleh.
Well, it's a horror movie, and this is what horror movies are now.
and the witch is gross.
Is it the same
Makes me
people who
feel
made
squirmish.
it?
Yeah, because the
it?
old lady seems not the same old lady, but the style
Yeah.
they
Then
give
there's
her.
it's the same kid.
Yeah,
from
the
It.
Beverly.
the young Beverly.
Okay. This year is going to be a movie of maybe horror / slasher films. We got a trailer for a movie. It's a remake. It's called Black Christmas. The original came out in the 70s, before Halloween. So this sort of predates that as one of the original slasher films. And this is being brought to us, the remake by Blumhouse, who are, remaking a lot of things now and giving us kind of okay movies. But I do have to say that I'm getting a bit tired of this because we were watching the trailer a little bit earlier on.
Yeah.
And I heard one of you say, this is like a Scream.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
feels like
It feels
Scream.
like Scream or that TV show Scream Queens, except no comedy, I guess.
I don't know. It doesn't look like anything new that
Yeah.
would interest me.
It
It's just
looks-
all of the victims look female. That's it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And it feels forgettable.
It does. It's kind of movie you watch once and you're like, all right,
And
that was
that's
it.
Yeah.
It's done.
right.
Because it's like a carbon copy of so many slasher films. Bunch of teenagers, they're all having fun.
Yeah.
One of them goes missing.
This one has a weaker weapon. It's a icicle.
Yeah.
We can melt it. It's like weakest weapon.
That is the perfect murder weapon.
Yeah, because you
but-
can't find handprints.
Yeah, but if you have a hairdryer though, like
And they are girls, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
That should be a mobile game. We should make one where there's a killer who has an icicle and you're armed with a
Hairdryer.
and your aim is to keep running away while trying to melt the icicle.
And then as you progress, your hair dryer gets upgraded.
Yes.
So that it's battery
And then
powered.
you get a Dyson hairdryer or something.
we should make that. Hobbs and Shaw, which is a movie that we all saw in cinemas. TB and myself watched it while we were not in Brunei, and the best description I can give about this movie is that it's a cartoon.
It is a cartoon.
It continues to dominate the global box office.
Are you serious?
It's still earning money
What?
From who?
from people. Domestically in the US, it has now earned $166 million since its release. And this weekend, it topped up another $27.9 million, bringing its total worldwide box office to $684 million.
684
Million. Yes.
this is why the Fast and Furious franchise will never die.
I'll never die. Mind you, this is a spin-off.
Yeah.
It's not in the main timeline.
It's branching
of the
off.
Fast and Furious.
It's gonna be an MCU.
Or
FCU.
Yeah, FCU.
Fast
F-
cinematic.
F2CU.
Yeah, Fast and Furious Cinematic Universe.
I will not buy this movie on Blu-ray. I'll say that.
Nah.
It's just too nonsensical and like
There's no cool cars.
I forgot what happened. I remember a
Hawaii.
Russian mansion
Hawaii.
and a Russian mansion.
random
Random
Russian
Russian mansion.
mafia
yes,
lady.
There was a lady,
And also they did the haka dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they
Didn't die.
Then die.
None of them died.
No, none of the
Nope.
good
None of the
guys.
brothers.
none of the family died.
Hence why a cartoon.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a cartoon. Speaking of records, Lion King, the live remake, has set another one, and it has surpassed Marvel's The Avengers
What
The
record
first
is this?
one?
at the box office. So now it's sitting at number 8, and it's beat The Avengers.
Who's buying this?
Kids, actually.
And
Kids now.
and cats, because
Like, what, Gen Alpha, I think?
I don't
I
know.
have no idea.
According to BoxOfficeMojo.com, the live-action remake of The Lion King has earned $1.564 billion worldwide.
Wow.
documentary channels
China?
are buying this.
China.
China,
Chinese kids.
Chinese kids.
Specifically Chinese kids in China.
Yeah, because China and then, like, the kids.
I'd be a bit scared to watch it in China because they'd probably be looking at the screen going, "Oh, look, that looks nice.
Food.
Can we eat that?"
Oh my god, no. That's so wrong.
I do a joke about this on stage. You've heard this
I
before.
know.
And I'm kidding, okay? I'm a
Yes.
part-time comedian. I'm kidding.
This is not reflecting.
Do not take offense. Do not send us letters. I'm just
All a
joking.
joke.
Okay? Let's move on.
He's half Chinese, so it's fine.
Here.
Thank you for that. We all watched Fast and Furious 8, right? And the main villain in that movie was played by Charlize Theron.
Yep.
She plays a character called Cypher, which
The weird braid.
Yeah,
with the weird braids, who I don't know, is like this super hacker who lives on a plane.
Yeah.
That's what that movie was about. She's coming back for Fast and Furious 9, and I don't know to what capacity. We just found out because Charlize Theron shared an Instagram photo with Cypher's new hairdo, and she looks like she's got a boy cut, and the caption was, "She's back." and that's it.
Okay.
So there's a Fast and Furious 9.
Yeah, it's been in production for like a month now or more.
What are they doing?
They want to
Making
get
money.
Making money.
That's what they're doing. Making
Yeah.
Someone's buying it.
They want to get to 10, and as I said many times on this
Yeah.
podcast, that's when they go to space.
No.
And then that's gonna be called Fast 10 Your Seatbelt.
Nice. Let's leave the Fast and Furious world a little bit, and let's talk about Joker. We got a trailer last week for Joker, which is coming out in October. Very excited for that. Played by Joaquin Phoenix. It is already gunning, Oscar buzz because it was screened at the Venice Film Festival last week, and reports, if they are to be believed, this movie got like an 8-minute standing ovation, and people were just clapping. I can't even clap for 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Reviews are already out for this movie.
Reviews are out, not public reviews. These are reviewer reviews.
IGN has already given it.
Yes, they are a publication, but not like us. Not normal people.
Because we've never watched it, so
We have not watched it. The festival director for Venice Film Festival says that it's got a very good chance of running for an Oscar.
Wow.
Best Picture.
What's it really?
We don't know.
Best
Wow.
Picture, Best Actor.
We don't know.
Maybe
And
best
this is
actor.
coming fresh off the heels of the news that this movie, Joker, won the Venice Film Festival's highest award, which is the Lion Award, the Golden Lion Award. It won that, which really does set this movie up. I don't want to put all my eggs in this basket and hope that it's awesome and amazing, because the last time we heard about standing ovations and everyone being happy with the film, we got Batman versus Superman. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
There's Batman vs Superman?
Yeah.
I don't think I remember that.
You've erased it from your...
Yeah,
Very
maybe-
good. Teach me how to do that. And
Tell me, do you bleed?
Oh, it's all coming back.
Martha.
Why do you say that? No, it's coming back.
Is she with you? Was that the line?
I can't remember.
I can't. Okay,
can't remember. I don't want to remember.
I'm glad I don't remember.
Anyway, back to Joker. Are you guys excited to watch this?
Yeah.
This
I
film?
am excited.
Not excited, but I do want to watch it.
You do want to watch
Yeah.
it? You're excited,
excited.
Tibi?
Yeah, I'm both halfway there.
Okay.
Was his girlfriend Domino?
Maybe they're
They make
friends,
it
and then
and
Okay.
close. I
Interesting.
don't want to assume.
it'd be
at this
so
point.
weird if at the end of this movie she becomes or fills the role of Harley Quinn.
Yeah, something
Oh,
like
man.
that. Maybe.
Oh.
It's a black Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Sure.
Why not?
Why not?
Flip it up.
Yeah, maybe she's a psychiatrist.
Oh,
Ooh.
well, who knows? Anyway. All
Is there
right.
going to be a Batman after this?
Yes, there is. That's why
Edward Cullen.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, but based from this movie, is it?
No,
No,
it's in a
it's
different
completely-
universe. This is a standalone. This is like Warner Brothers giving money for DC to do like a one-off thing, like do an art piece that really does something with the character, and this is the result.
I'd like something,
Continuous.
a Batman in this universe. Like I want to see if it's as bad as the previous one.
I don't know. We shall see.
That would be interesting. Now that I would want to watch.
A Batman from this era.
Not a
Maybe a Bruce
specific Batman movie, but I want to see a Batman in that.
Universe.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Impossible Mission Force universe, and I mean IMF, which means there is a new Mission Impossible movie on the way. It's Mission Impossible 7.
Wow.
Yep, Christopher McQuarrie, the director of 5 and 6, is coming back for Mission Impossible 7, and he announced on his Instagram that Hayley Atwell, Agent Carter herself, is joining the cast of Mission Impossible 7.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool because she plays like, a spy,
yeah.
classy spy in the Captain America movies
Yep.
and in the MCU. And now it does look like she's probably going to be part of the IMF. So, yeah.
MI6?
No, not MI6.
No.
The IMF
Mission
is this
Possible.
fictional
Mission Force.
They should call it Mission Possible now.
Mission Possible.
Mission Impossible 7.
Mission Possible 7. I
Why?
don't know, because most of their missions are success.
Possible.
Really?
There's never a failed mission.
Yeah, but the reason why it's called Mission Impossible is because it's impossible to do the mission and they can do it.
Right.
But 7 times though.
But if you guys look at the title, it's Mission Impossible 7. It's not Mission Impossible 7.
It's Mission.
Yep.
It's like 7 people, maybe.
No, that's always been the case. It's always mission,
Oh,
semicolon, impossible. It's
I never noticed that.
essentially saying the mission. impossible. You know?
Today is your
Yeah.
mission. It's called Impossible.
Oh,
Or
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Or that.
and meet your cousin Kim Possible.
That would be nice.
We are just spiraling out of control here, which is a good sign because we are going to be talking about It Chapter 2. Here's a bit of news that I want to share with you before we give our review of that movie. The posters for It Chapter 2 has garnered some complaints from concerned parents in Australia. So obviously there is, marketing for this movie. So you've got, billboards on the side of buses. You've got videos and highlights from the movies being played on advertisements on your phone, on TV, and anywhere. And concerned parents in Australia, in particular Queensland, has actually garnered some hate towards the film, saying, some people do enjoy going to horror movies, and that's fine, and that's their choice, and, we understand that, but we're not choosing to see the posters, and our kids are getting nightmares. That is exactly what
That's
this
the point of
movie
the poster.
It's supposed to do.
is supposed to do.
I'm looking
Is
at
it
the article.
the hand one?
It's the
just
whole
his
campaign.
eyes.
It's the whole
Yeah.
campaign for this movie.
Yeah.
They are pushing back to say that, sorry?
It's
We're
the
looking
poster.
at the
I'm
poster.
looking at
It's
the
the poster,
poster.
yeah.
It's so funny.
They are saying that, the marketing push for this movie it's too scary and our kids are not enjoying it. They're not supposed to.
Yeah.
It's not for them.
Oh,
They're
dear.
not supposed to enjoy watching a scary movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
Except-
be fair, they're not watching the movie. They're watching the promos
Post-
for the
yeah.
movie. And if that's an indication, the promos will reflect what the movie's gonna be. So
Yeah.
what are they gonna do? They're gonna have a happy trailer for this movie?
Yeah.
They could, and then mislead everyone to watch it. It's, I thought it was a happy movie.
I brought my kids to this.
I dressed them as clowns.
So there you go. That's the news this week. And we're going to jump straight into our review this week of It Chapter 2. This is, of course, as I mentioned, the follow-up movie to It from 2017. This movie, we see the adult cast of the Losers Club. So we've got a whole slew of talent in this movie.
So much
We've
talent.
got James McAvoy, Bill Hader, Jessica Chastain, and a couple of more.
Jay Ryan.
Jay Ryan.
Jay Ryan.
And one thing I have to say up top is that the casting for this movie is 100% accurate and
Spot on.
top notch.
Yep.
You can see that these older actors are so, connected to the younger actors.
Yeah.
And they play these scenes side by side where they have flashbacks to 27 years ago when they first beat Pennywise. And you can see the progression. Like, yeah, I would believe that Bill Hader was that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finn Wolfhard. Yeah.
Finn Wolfhard. I would believe that Jessica Chastain was the girl.
Yeah.
Was-
What was his name? James McAvoy doesn't even seem like
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. Like he doesn't seem like Patricia from Split or Captain Xavier. No, Professor Xavier. Like I don't see him as that at all.
That's probably why they got him, because he really demonstrated his acting chops in Split.
Yeah.
So he got the stuttering down.
Yeah.
And that impressed me a lot during this
Yeah.
movie. Let's go around, the panel today, and let's just do like a very quick summary of the movie. Let's get Tibby to do a quick summary.
27 years has passed in the town of Derry.
What are you trying to make?
Something bad keeps happening after 27 years. People kept missing. People are dying people on the river. And then Mike, who is the only losers club who stayed at Derry, notices this and then decides to call everyone who was in the losers club who made an oath to come back if this thing was still alive. And they all came back and tried to kill it, basically.
That's basically it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Basically it.
That's a very, very good summary.
Yeah, thank
know?
you very
Yeah.
much for doing it for me.
This movie.
Wait, you haven't watched it?
No. I did watch it.
okay,
You're doing the
okay.
summary for
Yeah,
me.
okay.
Thanks.
This movie is 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Pretty long.
Bit too long.
It's pretty long, but
Yeah.
I'll put my hand up at
Yeah.
first and say that I didn't feel it.
Yeah.
I didn't feel
There you
it.
go.
I
Yep.
enjoyed every scene.
Although there were some bits that I felt could be shortened
out?
Yeah.
or removed.
If no one told me it was 2 hours 45 minutes, I wouldn't have felt it.
Okay.
I wouldn't have felt it. Like, because before the movie, it's like, it's almost 3 hours, really? Okay. And then when I was in the movie, it's like, yeah, it's almost 3 hours.
It's long.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
long. It takes its time to tell certain story points.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to Afif. What do you have to say about this movie?
I have not seen the first one. I mean, not the old one.
The old
Because the old
version.
one consists of the children's story and the adult story.
The old one was in the 90s or the early 90s, and it
Early
was a
90s,
TV
yeah.
series. No, it was a TV special thing. So
Yep.
they showed one episode, which was the length of a movie. That showed the kid portion, which is the first movie, and then I think 2 nights later they had the second part of the story.
Yep.
I think I remember watching this in Laserdisc.
Wow, it's that old.
Laserdisc
Yeah.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
That's right. This is like side A, side B kind of thing.
No, like 1 A B.
Okay.
And then 2 A B.
Okay. To me, I really enjoyed the movie. I really don't have much to complain.
You haven't watched the first one?
I mean, it chapter 1.
Oh,
I
okay,
did.
okay.
Just not the
old one.
the Tim Curry one.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
It was quite enjoyable. I enjoyed the. Can I talk about the ending? Not yet. Later.
A little bit later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed how the story ends. That's about it. And yeah, it didn't feel like 2.5 hours. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Naz.
I loved the acting from everyone, from the kids, from all the adults, from Bill Skarsgård. Like, I love how, because he has lazy eye, and I think he had therapy so that he could correct it, but he used his lazy eye abilities for like its character, which created that creepy, awkward scene where he just his eyes
In
just
the
drift
sewer, I
apart.
think.
Yeah, in the sewer. And I thought that was really good.
No, not in the sewer, in the stands.
Under the-
Yeah,
Under
under the
and the
stands.
bleachers.
And
Bill Hader, I saw this on 9gag. Bill Hader was asking him, it's like, how did they CGI your eyes? And then he did it in front
yeah,
of him.
he
And
did
I
in
was
front
like,
of him.
oh my god.
Yeah. I loved how each actor like portrayed. I don't know how, just like how Bill Hader portrayed older Richie, and he's exactly the same as like Finn Wolfhard's
Character.
like potty mouth character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought everyone was great except maybe Jessica Chastain and Jay Ryan, who played Ben, because it didn't seem as obvious that they were those characters, but everyone else was like spot on.
Okay. TB.
I have to say I enjoyed the first one better. Probably because they were kids.
Yeah, that's true.
And they did so much, they did so well being themselves, like as kids, and the expectation was not as much. But then they like went over the
Exceed,
expectation.
yeah.
But this, like as an adult, as adults, they're like, yeah, that's what I would figure would happen as an adult. But I guess I'm just saying nothing special.
Yeah.
There's no standout performance per se, and then I think the storyline is not as clear as the first one.
Yeah.
Script wise,
The script, no, not really script wise. It's just I think it's all over.
Structure.
Yeah, the structure is not there.
I think they tried to focus on like every person has an artifact or a memory they have to go through
Yeah.
in order to like defeat it.
To come to the realization that,
Yeah, this is what we
Yeah.
have to do.
Yeah, but we didn't get what Mike was.
Mike's is,
Mike didn't have to because he never left.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this
Okay,
is
that
all
makes sense.
to remember, and I thought the fighting scene was pretty good, but could have been better, maybe.
Okay.
But the CG is really good. I noticed that some of the kids seemed a bit older and their voice were broken, so they had to like
something with the audio.
edit
they did.
the audio
They-
and CG their
Did they
faces.
actually do it?
Yes, I read somewhere.
Yeah.
or I
Makes
saw a
sense.
YouTube video that they had to de-age a couple of the actors.
Yeah, because Finn had his face was CG in his
Yep.
scene
Yeah.
for Richie.
Yep.
Yeah, it looked kind of weird.
So-
It looked like
yeah.
a Superman
Yeah.
kind of thing.
It looked a little bit weird.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of like the uncanny valley, like, I don't know, it doesn't look that real
Yeah.
kind of thing. I think that this movie,
I think if there was something missing in this movie is that they didn't mention that Pennywise thrives on fear.
Fear.
Yeah, because in the kids, like we actually Like it was clear that
Yeah, they
fear
said
was
it.
the one.
Yeah.
But when they're adult, if let's say people who didn't see chapter 1, they wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
Like
that as well.
So that's
I think
that's
that
what's
also.
missing.
I think they were banking on people having watched
Watched
the first
it,
one
yeah.
to watch the second one. Anyway, I thought this movie was a very good follow up to the first movie, which was It in 2017. And it's I guess everything that I wanted it to be, because we saw the older versions in the trailers and what Pennywise is up to now. My only one complaint is that maybe we saw a little bit too much of Pennywise. There's something to be said about not showing a character too much.
That makes it scary.
That makes it more scary, because
Yeah.
there's so much mystery that shrouded in it.
Like, I think the first half of the movie was quite scary because you don't really see Pennywise, and that old lady scene with Jessica Chastain, that was super scary.
Yep.
But I think as they progressed, and then they kept showing him
Yeah.
and his long tongue, like
Yeah.
then we were like, yeah, okay, it's Pennywise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I would say the last quarter of the movie
Yeah.
was not scary anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
okay.
I remember laughing a lot.
There you
Actually.
go. Yeah. We laughed a lot last time
Yeah.
as well.
I think there's so much humor here. I love
So
it.
much humor. But I will say that we saw maybe a little bit too much of Pennywise, but I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to maybe bring it to a conclusion
Yeah.
to say that,
It's not.
you have to not be scared of Pennywise anymore,
Yeah.
just as how the characters in the movie
Yeah.
have to not be scared of him. Maybe that's what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that ending. So from this point on, it's spoilers. If you have not watched It Chapter 2, we will be talking about the ending mainly. We've talked about most of the movie, I guess.
Yeah.
So now it's the ending. That ending, how they eventually defeated Pennywise.
I don't get it.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I mean,
It
why
doesn't-
couldn't have they done it earlier?
That way?
When I mean
He was
they,
small and then he fell into a hole.
but when it became the head, the friend.
oh,
Oh yeah, when he was Stanley, when Pennywise was
Yeah,
Stanley's head,
Yep.
They could have crushed the head.
but they didn't know.
but they were
They
still
threw it away.
they were still scared.
Yeah, but that he's like
Okay,
he's
okay, I'll give
in
you
the
that.
form of a scary entity, so they were scared even though it's small.
How do we know he's really dead?
Because they got his heart.
Yeah, and then all the lights disappeared.
No, man.
I want to see them destroy the lights. Now that's like,
Yeah.
they destroyed the lights.
The lights were the source.
Oh.
It feels like the lights were,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
not much explanation.
Well,
They didn't even imply that he was an alien. I mean, they
in looks.
showed like the
comet.
comet and everything,
Yeah.
but they don't say it. you
yeah.
know?
Because
Yeah.
I think in that situation you wouldn't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Like if it happened in real life and
Yeah.
someone told you there were lights that came down like millions of years ago, I'm like, lights.
And
yeah.
it's just and it's just one.
And I don't.
Being.
It wasn't that clear what happened to the tribes when Penny was like, "Oh, you didn't explain them what happened to the."
yeah.
Them, yeah.
Yeah.
Did
No,
they all get killed?
They all
right?
died.
Yep. How? Why?
Like they all got stabbed.
I don't know.
I think.
Assimilated, maybe.
They couldn't control it. I don't know.
See, like
Yeah,
this,
okay,
the
yeah.
question that
Yep, that's true.
exactly. Like I don't know what happened.
And what was Mike thinking?
What did he do different that he? Will,
Yeah, and he's so confident
Yeah.
that they could do it
Yeah.
better.
So that was a bit.
Maybe because
Off-putting.
he thought they were able to defeat him the first time, not kill, but defeat, to make him weaker. So he thought maybe he could do it better than the Red Indians.
But
Maybe.
why disclose the information until the end? That's funny to me.
Don't know.
That's just weird.
Sounds like a Mission
Yeah.
Impossible thing.
Yeah, and then they all agreed, despite not knowing in full details what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And I thought I don't know, I wasn't particularly fond of like Stanley's justification of like why he killed himself.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Like it
what's a
be-
long
because
Too
shot?
scared.
He
Yeah,
admitted
yeah.
he admitted that he was the weakest, and
Yeah.
if he had shown up,
Yeah.
they would have lost. So I'm like, yeah, you could not have foreseen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you were in the gang when you defeated him the first time.
Yeah.
So what's different now?
Yeah.
Is it in the book? Maybe it's in the book.
Yeah, maybe it's in the
I have no idea.
I
They
remember
changed a
reading
bit.
it, but I
Yeah.
couldn't
Anyway.
finish it.
It could be in the book.
It could be in the book.
Yeah.
Stephen King, the writer of this
Yeah,
movie
he was
and
there.
book, he made a cameo appearance
Yeah.
as a shop owner,
Yeah.
where a bike gets bought off him.
Yeah.
And I thought something scary was gonna happen, but I'm like, all right,
too.
It was just like a
Yeah.
passing thing.
Out of all the people that got the token, was it Bill? Bill was the least scariest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The rest
That's
was
true.
like
the
being
rest
chased,
like really terrifying.
fire.
Bill's was only him grabbing from the drain, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the paper boat.
Yeah.
The boat from that he made for Georgie.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it, chapter 2. I guess we don't have very much more to say. Let's give our ratings for this movie. Tibi,
6.8, almost a 7 for me,
almost 7.
because I expected a lot based from the first chapter. So this was slightly under my expectation.
Okay, slightly under.
Yeah.
So the first was still better.
Yeah, first was still
Yeah.
better.
All right.
Like-
Afif.
7 zombie drivers.
Hitchcock.
So random.
Wait, no, it's not. Hofstetter.
Hofstetter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hofstetter.
So random.
It's so random.
His friend's still being an undead.
Oh yeah, what happened to him?
Yeah, it's gone.
His friend. Oh yeah, no one explained what happened to him.
Exactly.
The undead friends.
Next chapter 3.
Okay. Naz.
I give it 7 clowns out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, because I enjoyed it. I didn't have high hopes for it, but I was really impressed with the acting and really loved the humor. Even though
I had high hopes, so that's
Oh, okay.
That's all right.
I didn't have
It
to.
was satisfying.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, it
that's
was
it.
good.
That's it.
That's fair. I will give this movie the highest score among everyone here. I'm giving it a 7.5 Pennywises out of 10. I just think that this was a nice close
Yeah.
to the first movie.
I agree.
I agree.
Although a little bit long, and maybe some points could have been, further
Clearer,
better
yeah.
explained.
Yeah.
But overall, if you are a fan of the It franchise and the first movie, and even, I guess, the Tim Curry version
Yeah.
in the 90s, you owe it to yourself to watch this movie. It's still showing here in local cinemas, so do get yourself and watch it there.
Oh yeah, and try to pay attention to Easter eggs from Stephen King's other movies and books. Like
There was-
here
there was a-
comes Johnny.
There was a quick, there was a very
right.
quick chat, very quick cut of here's Johnny
and then,
from The
like,
Shining.
Yeah, and a lot of The Shining, similar scenes to The Shining as well, like all the
Maybe it's in the same
blood.
world.
It is.
It is.
It's in that universe.
It's in the Stephen Kingiverse.
Yeah,
Kingiverse.
Kingiverse, and it's in Maine, right? Like everything
Yeah,
creepy
everything's
happens
in Maine, like where he's from,
yeah.
and everything has like lights.
And Red Indian stuff.
Yeah.
Remember in
yeah.
what's it? Pet Cemetery.
Pet Cemetery.
It's in the
Yeah.
same area.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our review of It Chapter 2, which brings us to our next bit of the show called
Oi, apa liat-liat? Apa liat-liat? Hoi, kan semua kan? Apa liat-liat?
Apa dia?
那看什么看？
Apa liat-liat? See what see? Xiao liao.
Yep, Apa Liat Liat. It's what else we've been watching besides It Chapter 2. TB, Apa Liat Liat.
Last week, or was it 2 weeks ago, I watched a Malay movie called Sankar because there was no other movie that I haven't watched.
Probably last weekend.
Maybe last weekend.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't want to watch Upin Ipin. So, I watched a Malaysian movie called Sankar. It's basically translated Cage because it's about MMA fighters. And I was expecting a brainless fighting movie, but it's actually not. The synopsis is there was this guy who is getting big in the MMA scene, and then he was supposed to fight this British guy, but then he ended up fighting another Malay guy who's kind of the veteran. A bookie asked him to lose the match, and he was not happy. So after that match, he got into another brawl and then accidentally broke the veteran guy's spine.
Oh.
So most of the movie was him trying to be sorry, build him his own attitude, trying
Okay.
to help this guy who is paralyzed now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was a very interesting movie, and I actually enjoyed it a lot.
So it's actually like a very heartfelt movie.
Yeah.
It's not like a all-out action fighting.
Yeah, imagine $1 Million Baby in Malaysian MMA.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
something like that.
There's a Malaysian MMA?
It's in
I
this
guess
movie. It's
okay.
imaginary.
Imaginary,
yeah.
sure. Okay.
If you guys got the chance, I think you guys should watch it.
Okay. All right. Afif, apa lihat?
Nothing much this week. I remember watching the first till the third Harry Potter movie, but I'm gonna pass that to Naz. But since it has been a very dready week. I've been watching YouTube on philosophers and authors for my project.
Okay.
Yeah,
Your project.
Yeah, big project, and finish up with that presentation. I wish I knew about this. I mean, to all the university kids, please go to YouTube. It's so much simpler. You can just hear it. You don't have to write anything.
That's my whole education right there, man.
Exactly.
If I need to know something, I go to YouTube.
I mean,
first.
the world nowadays, everything's so easy.
Everything's on YouTube.
Yeah, you can just Google it.
Last time we had to read, and if you don't understand it, that's
Yeah.
it.
That's it.
You're done.
We didn't even have Google.
Yeah, the library was our Google.
So your apa lihat this week is YouTube.
YouTube, yeah, that's it. Not much.
Naz, apa lihat?
Afif and I and one of our best friends had a Harry Potter marathon.
Ooh.
So we plan to watch Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone till Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. But because each movie is about 2 hours and 30 plus minutes long,
It's taking a while.
we have to split it into 2 days.
I
So
know, right?
one day we could only finish 4 movies.
That's still a
That's
lot.
true. That's a
Yeah.
lot.
I remember
Yeah.
watching the Matrix trilogy in one day, and that was like
Yeah.
stressful,
So
It was stressful.
Yeah.
strenuous.
yeah.
Strenuous.
We have part
Strenuous.
2 left, but it's interesting to watch all of them together because you can see how much they've grown up and how their acting initially was like terrible, so bad.
They
From
were
the first
kids.
movie.
Yeah,
They were
like,
kids.
Like Richard Griffith, Professor McGonagall, Professor Snape. They had to carry the movie. So, but progressively, you can see who has improved a lot. Like Tom Felton, Daniels was okay. Rupert Grint was good. Emma's still the same. She's pretty though.
Have you guys seen what's the guy's name? The bad kid with the slick hair.
Tom Felton.
Tom Felton.
He's
Draco?
He looks so old now.
Yeah, he looks
Yeah, it's
so
the
old.
thinning
Thinning
arm.
hair.
Oh.
Yeah, but he's probably one of the better actors out of the.
Yeah,
He looks British.
he looks British and old
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
because he was in one of Linkin Park's music video.
Oh,
Really?
I think it was Linkin, one of the bands, and then he was like, "Who's this guy? He looks
Yeah.
very familiar."
And
Hey, that's Draco Malfoy, man.
I know, and I was like, "He has become to this."
yeah, like,
Ouch.
yeah, you
But
can
he
see-
is a good actor.
he's a good
Yeah.
actor. He's such a good actor. Like you can see the difference, you know, like at who's really good and who's just
Yeah. Like to compare.
yeah. So-
All right, so you guys watched Harry Potter
Potter,
for your first half of your
Yeah.
binge. Moving on to me, I watched. Well, I'm on a Terminator binge. So I'm in anticipation of the next movie that's coming out. I thought I'd start a bit early because I think we should do a Terminator episode. Although I am jumping around the timeline, I'm not watching them in sequence. I'm watching them in the order of worst to best.
And what's the order? May we know?
The order has been Terminator 3. I'm going to move on to Terminator Genesis.
Oh, man.
And then Terminator Salvation.
Oh my god.
All right.
And then Terminator 1. And then Terminator 2. So I'm going to end on a high.
2 is
Yep.
Two is
Was
the
really good.
best.
Yeah.
And then that sets up for the next movie that's coming out.
Yeah.
I'm jumping over the timeline. And I have to say, I've watched Terminator 3 and Genesis. And those... Terminator 3 does not hold up. One. The story and acting, I don't know, like comparing it to Terminator 2 was so bad. And then you have Terminator Genesis, which was this attempt to kickstart the franchise again. Something went wrong there. I don't know what it was.
Not even Khaleesi could save it.
Not even Khaleesi, not even the Mother of Dragons can save it. So yeah, so further down the line, just before we get Terminator Dark Fate, we're going to do a Terminator episode, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it. That's going to be it. That's the episode this week of the Wayang Crew podcast. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.